Welcome to the tutorial, Tips for Negotiating Worksite Placements. Many students ask the question, can I do my field placement where I work? This is a hard question to answer just by simply saying yes. The truth is that every agency is different, and the amount of support that students receive from their employing agency is different. The option for students to do a worksite placement is possible, but the final outcome can often be disappointing for students. For students, it is imperative to understand that for the next 2 to 4 years, this is your time to soak it up. Making the most of your opportunity to learn and field is vital to your future as a practitioner, and it is something you can't get back. Many students perceive that a worksite placement is their only option. For some students, this is true, but for others, it is just the easier route. I encourage you to carefully consider your options as you begin this journey. If you are considering applying for a worksite placement, you need to first understand that your agency may not be approved. If your agency is not approved, what are your other options? If there are other options, think about making those changes before you begin placement. For example, financial aid, student loans, scholarships, part-time program, or a more supportive employing agency. It is also important to understand what you need from your agency in order to make this work. Whether you are a new employee, have been employed in the agency for many years, or are interviewing with an agency, the next few slides will go over the terms that are needed to be discussed and to be understood before a worksite placement can be considered. These items are not optional. They are mandated by the Council on Social Work Education, CSWE. As you are negotiating with your agency, please use the following tips to make sure you have addressed these important CSWE mandates for worksite placements. First, your agency, administrator, and supervisor will need to release you from your current job responsibilities so that you can complete new job responsibilities or new field placement activities. During this time, you are no longer the employee. You should not be called. You should not be paged. You should not need to respond to your regular job duties at this time. You are the student in a new capacity. You need to help your agency to understand this. If you are unable to separate these roles, a field placement will not be possible in your agency. Second, your new job responsibilities or new field placement activities will need to meet the educational objectives or competencies for the field placement course. This takes negotiation between the agency, the field office, and the student. Third, your agency will need to schedule days and times that you will be released to be in the role of the student. You will need to work with your supervisor and other administrators to be specific about the days and times you will be in the student role each week. You will be monitored through student logs to make sure that your agency is releasing you from regular job duties. Fourth, your agency will agree to provide an MSW, LGSW, or LCSW field instructor who has had 2 years postmaster's MSW experience to supervise and provide field instruction. The appointed MSW will have to be approved by the field office. The MSW should not be your direct supervisor in your regular job. The agency will allow you to complete 1 hour of supervision a week with the field instructor and to spend your new job responsibilities, practicum activities, under the direct supervision of this MSW. Lastly, many agencies do not understand what it means to be the student with the approved MSW field instructor. This should be the time where you observe the MSW, model the MSW, work with the MSW, and let the MSW observe you, present cases to the MSW, and be trained by the MSW. These are a few examples of expectations. This is a major commitment on the part of the agency. It is not just a time for everyone to say yes without understanding the level of commitment. The first step in negotiating a work site begins with you, the student. As you can see from the level of commitment, this is not always the easiest solution. I encourage you to carefully consider options. Many worksite students leave the program feeling that they have missed out, and if they could do it again, they would work outside of their agency for their field placement.